Well,
they want to get close up, get personal. Why you gotta be the first to know? I hit them highs, miss them.
Yo, check this out. This is MC Light, your host, Miss Danaya.
Still intact, building stacks, body bag and killing tracks. You probably heard me stunting, award shows, no frontin'. I'm just setting the London, and what you heard, I done it. Like, woo, every day I just hustle and get everything. But who is you? Ain't it something to getting cake, baby?
Yo, this is MC Light. Check it out. It's all good. Danaya.
Good evening, and welcome to the premiere of Danaya Azure Radio. I am your host, Danaya Azure, and I have my phenomenal guest on the line. Happy birthday to the G-Twinz. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. I am so glad that you guys were able to come on and show some love. So let me tell you a little bit about these guys. I met them on social media a few years ago. I saw them on YouTube, and their videos are insane. They are clean lyricists. I mean, think about this. They're clean freestyle artists. They're able to just kill any beat that anybody throws at them. So when they told me they were coming out with the original music, I was like, you guys have got to come on the show. I absolutely love your music, and I would love to premiere some of your great stuff. So let me just have the birthday boys say a little bit about themselves. Hold on. Hello?
Yep, we are here. What's going on, world? It is the G-Twinz in the building. You are now tuned into Next Legacy Radio with the one and only Danaya in the building. And did we hear
Happy birthday, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Definitely an honor to be able to be up on your show. And we're just going to go ahead and have a lot of fun with this interview and really get everything going. We're really excited for everybody to hear all the music that we got coming for the album. And we're really excited to be able to get it out there. And for the first 5 who call in, they're going to be getting free copies of the album and also signed. So in 30 years, hopefully that will be worth a whole lot of money for you to be able to pawn off or keep as a collector's item.
That's what's up. So you guys are originally from Chicago, correct?
Born and raised.
Nice. So how long have you been doing music?
Well, Justin, I've been doing it since I was 9. And my brother, he actually kind of caught on to it when he was 12. But for the most part, as a group, we've been doing it ever since we were 12. So as of today, it's been about 13 years that we've really been doing this music as a unit.
Okay, cool. So what makes you guys so in love with music?
It's just the essence. I mean, we just bring it. To be honest, when we were coming up, our mom didn't let us listen to, rap or anything like that. And if we listened to it, she didn't know. So, we really learned, all the music, from the old school and, just the old Dusties and R&B and things like even Michael Jackson and, all the real, what people call the real music. And we didn't know anything about rapping. I thought I was the first guy to start rapping fast until I heard Bone Thugs and Harmony and Twist, and I was just like, oh, okay. Okay, well, maybe I should listen to these guys and hone my skills. And, we started getting into it. But, we didn't know about a lot of it. So we had a lot to catch up on when we got to that point.
Right.
But it's just the love of the music. We just feel good doing it. And, if you can tell in our videos, just have fun, And even on our shows, we just have fun. And even on these interviews, we still have fun, So, I mean, it is, it's just a beautiful thing. I don't know what the world would be without music. And,
exactly.
Just doing the music, it just sets up everything for us. Everybody just goes out to love the music. And music is the tone. Music is the emotion. What sets you in your tone. When you work out, what do you listen to? Music. When you go to school, what are you trying to listen to? Music. When you're moving around on public transportation, what you trying to listen to? Music.
Music,
you're trying to get some time to pass through, you're listening to music. When you're in church, you're trying to listen to music or somebody's doing some kind of musical pattern. It's all just a feeling. any emotion. You just go through it, and it's just the feeling that, you know, we just can't let go. We get inspired by pretty much anything, to be honest. I mean, you think about these beats that we rap off of with these other rappers that get on there and we try and remix it. It's a whole different thing when we get on there and put our whole twist on it, and that's just what inspires us.
Wow, that's what's up, though. That's definitely what's up. And I think that's what I try to explain to people, that music is life. You literally can't do anything without music. No matter what you do, you hear it even in movies, commercials, music is life. It's just, there's just no other way.
Absolutely.
So, yes. So who would you guys say is your favorite artist?
Well, we have similar interests, but for myself, it would definitely be Nas. Because we talk about Nostradamus, I Am, Stillmatic, Godson. You know, the guy's just, his flow, the main reason why I started rapping was because of the first time that I heard him. And it was really because Stepsister actually had a 3LW album. This is how I found out about this. Because, again, we weren't listening to rap like that when we were kids. And the last song on the 3LW album was the No More remix featuring Nas. And I'm like, who is this guy here? And he's just flowing on the track. It's like he was rapping since birth. And I was like, man, I want to rap like that, because it sounded like a prophet or a poet. And it moved me in that way. And then I ended up getting Stillmatic. And then I just had to start collecting everything else, and then from there, that was definitely my favorite artist and somebody that inspired me. But I'll tell you who inspired Carroll. It was definitely Bone Thugs and Harmony. I would definitely say that's probably his favorite group. A lot of people, they automatically they think I try, you know, I stem my style from Twister, but I really hone my style from Bone Thugs. You notice I don't try and rap fast on everything. If you think about it, Justin actually raps faster than I do. I kind of break my bars up a little bit more when I'm rapping, and it's kind of like a pause here, pause there. Only difference between me, I don't do like the harmonies like Bone Thugs does. That's the only difference. The only difference that somebody probably could pick out that really, really listens. But, you know, if it was to compare, I wouldn't even compare the styles. I would think that it's just my own style, but people are just so set into what they hear on the radio and what they hear before. You know, just like when I hear Justin, I hear Nas and Eminem. But, you know, you know, from Justin, I know he didn't even know who they were when he started rapping. So, you know, it's a whole different thing. But who do you take influence from? So it's definitely Bone Thugs and Harmony with me. But I was a Twister fan, but I wasn't one that would take influence from, you know, his style and trying, do it just like him and stuff like that. It was really Bone Thugs with me.
Okay. Cool, definitely. So what would you guys say would be your absolute dream collaboration?
I think it'll be Bone Thugs and Harmony or not. No, to be honest, you know what, I don't know what will be the dream collaboration, but I would say I would really want to make a song with J. Cole. I would really like, because to be honest, Bone Thugs and Harmony is my favorite group, but to make a song with them is kind of like when, you know, like the Joakim Noah looking up to KG all his life, and he plays against him. It's a whole different thing. I don't know. I just can't see it happening the way I would want it to. I just don't know how it would turn out. But I know if I make a song with J. Cole, it would be kind of like, oh, he's gonna pull something different out of me, and that's all it is. It's just about, you know, trying something new and being inspired to do something different from what you're doing. And on the album, you know, I switch up my style, and Justin switches up his style all throughout. So definitely when that album drops, and we're going to definitely try and put an extra boost on getting that date locked down for mid to late February. And we're going to be previewing that album on this next Legacy Radio. Hopefully we can get that outside the show. You know, the world, what we've been working on with our originals and things like that. Huge shout out to our manager, Pierce Henry. Huge shout out to Danny Froze. Everybody that's been taking part with everything with the project. And I don't want to call it an album or a project because we still don't have a solid name. But me and Justin were just thinking, like, maybe Twin Stars is a great name for the album. What you think?
You said Twin Stars? I like that. I really do. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I know I was reading a little bit about, your name. So if you guys could kind of explain how you got your name?
Okay, well, it started off where, of course, I was rapping when I was 9, and Jarrell, he kind of caught on when we were 12. But we were actually competing against each other prior to being a group. And we were in the Boys and Girls Club of Chicago Heights. And the director, rest her soul, Miss Boyd, she was actually, she said, no, you guys are twins. You guys should actually do something together because I think it would be cute if you guys come together. So she's thinking about it from the standpoint of these little kids, they're not trying to be rappers against each other. They should be together. So we ended up writing a song together, and we ended up performing it. And to this day, it still is our best performance from our point of view because it's never anything like the first time. Right after that show, then, the talent show was over with. Then our mom, she was just like, you guys are my twin stars. And she gave us the name Gemini Twins. Gemini actually means the constellation of twin stars. So then that's the meaning behind it. It's not that our birthday lands upon it because if our birthday is today, and going by the horoscopes, the zodiacs, and that would mean that we would be Aquarius. But we had to bring it more of a deeper meaning. Everybody's expecting it to be a very simple meaning, but then if you have some artists that are very deep, then their name has to be deep, and everything else they do has some type of extra little something to it that can be able to make people really think. It can be a conversation piece. So Gemini means the constellation of twin stars. Gemini, that we are twin stars, and that's pretty much the meaning for the name. And I think that's the best name that we possibly can be able to give ourselves all together. I definitely think it sounds a lot better than Aquarius Twins.
Right, because I was like, wait a second. That's really cool.
And I was looking.
Yeah, because I was looking at the meaning, and I was like, okay, that's actually really nice because you think about it, and so many groups kind of just play around with their name, but to have something that really means something and that's genuine, and and given to you by your mom is like it's really dope. So.
Right. And it's definitely something that we're always going to have.
Right, exactly. So how in the world did you guys get hooked up with YouTube? How did all that start?
I got to give some huge shout-outs. So basically I was just a fan. I would get on YouTube and I'd say, like, we never going to post any videos on there. But I just posted a video because I saw how people were just doing covers on YouTube. And one in particular, I don't know if you're familiar with Angela and Eric Stanley, but Eric Stanley is a YouTube sensation, and Angela, she does more like R&B and soul type music, and she does some hip hop too. But she's a dope singer, and she plays the guitar and things like that. And I just fell in love with one of her live, videos, and she did it live, no mic, no nothing. I could just see everything that she's doing, and it just made me appreciate her talent rather than hearing something on wax and being like, hey, can she really freestyle? Hey, can she really do this or really do that? How's her voice, before it's mixed and things like that? I just got to see it on the raw tone. And I just fell in love with it. I was just like, maybe we could start doing that. So if you notice, the first video that was posted was just me by myself. And Justin, he was afraid to get on there because he didn't want people to be just taking his lyrics. Yeah, he was like, oh man, I don't want people getting on there, taking my lyrics, and then I spit something on an album or a mixtape, and they take it. But what was good with YouTube, after our lyrics go on up there, as long as we type in the lyrics, Google just took over YouTube. So that's the only reason why Justin got on there doing it. And from there, we just got on there together, but it didn't jump off immediately. We posted. And then posted. But then we started having a lot of people shout us out, like literally shout us out in videos. And then it went on to people sharing our videos. And, long story short, we're at the point we're at now. And, of course, we're still not at the point that we want to be, but, it's definitely progress.
Yeah, definitely. And it was crazy because, I remember I connected with you guys when you first got on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And so we had been going back and forth, and I saw some.
And that's before the videos. Way before the videos.
Right.
Yeah, way before. Well, consistently. We didn't have a lot of them up there. We probably had, actually, when we posted a video, like, we were really, like, when it comes to promotion, like, promoting the video, like, I would hit up it was so funny, I would hit up everybody that had a hashtag, no hands, hashtag, whatever song we remixed, I hit them up and say, hey, check this out, blah, blah, blah. A new group just started now on YouTube and this and that. And, a lot of that, I wasn't spamming the people. I was just hitting them up when they wanted it. And a lot of those people are fans today. And it just went for the next thing. But we'll be working like 3 videos. We'll post 3 videos and then just work the mess out of them. And then next 3 weeks we'll post another 3 and work the mess out of those. And that's just how we did it. We didn't post and then just let the views just count and we're good to go. We used to work the mess out of them, just posting them everywhere. Yeah, we had a lot more freedom on YouTube back then, too.
Yeah, it's very true. Very, very true. So what would you say, being a Chicago artist, what has been your biggest drawback here?
Biggest drawback? I wouldn't say we had any serious drawbacks because our Chicago artists are, more so tested than anybody else. Like if we've traveled around. We've been in, overseas. We've been, numerous places in the U.S. And it's just a different atmosphere. I wouldn't say it's better. I wouldn't say it's worse because every place has their bad things and their good things when it comes to, the challenges that you'll go through and the career that you choose. It depends on, what you look for as a pet peeve. But, one that really particularly will get us is I don't like maybe I don't know I wouldn't speak on basically like something that's bad in Chicago, but it's a different atmosphere. I'll say everywhere else is a different atmosphere. In Chicago, it seems like everybody's after theirs until you can get them something. So when it comes to a situation like with our situation where we got 35,000. Thank God that we got 35,000 from people sharing our videos and things like that. It comes where, people hit you up that you hit up before, and they hit you up like you never hit them up. And it's kind of like when that mentality keeps going, now, if we were in the same mindset as them, we wouldn't even respond to them or we won't hit them back. And that's what everybody in Chicago has as that mentality. When somebody blows up, everybody's hitting them up, but then when everything slows down, they're hitting the next person up that blows up, and like, hey man, I need you to help me get back on, and they like, hey, I hit you up when I wasn't popping. Now I'm popping. Why would you get me up now? And that it's just a change that's constantly going on. And I just feel like that's the mentality. It's like the survival mode type thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna get mine, and that's it. But everyone else in other places, they are really like, oh, I'm going to just stick together because I know what the ultimate goal is. So we just surround our people with surround ourselves with people, that know the ultimate goal, know what they're going to get out of it. Know, hey, if they pitch in this talent that they have, that they do really good. Not just pitching in everything because it's, promotion is not for everybody. Music's not for everybody. It's just not.
Exactly.
So people have to know their strong points are and their weak points are. And if they bring their strong points, they'll be fine. And they'll be eating just the same as the person that's out in the spotlight is eating. So, fortunately, we're at the forefront of the group. But, it's people like our manager that puts in work, constantly. It's people like, all the artists that we work with that put in work, producers, engineers. You talk about, every manager that's getting a connection with our manager, all these people that's doing this stuff, radio personalities, everybody that's doing this stuff, like say like if, we blow up, anyone else that probably, like say like if you did an interview with Kanye the week prior before he blew up, chances are 70% of that, that chance he probably won't get on your radio show when you hit him up and say, hey, I need an interview from you, blah, blah, blah. And he'll probably say, oh, okay, I'll do it, and he won't never get around to doing it. And, it's a whole different thing with us because we've been on both sides of the spectrum.
Gotcha. Right. So I have someone on here. I have the owner of Next Legacy, Mr. I Am Branded, is in the building. He has a couple questions for you guys before we play your music. Okay. I Am Branded.
What's up?
How's it going, Brandon?
Man, I'm good, man. Life is good. Listening to y'all, I ain't got no complaints. What's up with y'all?
Appreciate it. We all good. We are all good. Lord just dropping blessings on us. No complaints.
Hey, that's what's up, man. As it should. I mean, I hear y'all grinding. So, hey, look, I got a couple of questions. So, all right, I'm listening to y'all, and good vibe. Definitely a shout out to y'all hustle and what y'all trying to do and stuff. So, one of my questions is, when it comes there's 500 million rappers out there. Everybody want to get put on. Everybody want to blow up. Everybody want to do, something. And it's a logjam at this particular genre of music in hip hop or whatever. So my question is, how do y'all see, or where do y'all fit in such a crowded genre of music, and what will separate you guys from being just like everybody else?
Well, Next Legacy, we don't fit in. And that's what separates the whole thing. We don't fit in. We don't fit in with anything that anyone else is bringing, because people get the misconception that because we don't use profanity in our music, we don't degrade women, and we don't talk about, guns and all the stuff that, everyone else is talking about. We just talk about what we know. They had a misconception that, hey, we're gospel rappers, or, when they hear that we don't talk about that stuff, they don't want to hear it. But then when they hear our stuff, they're like, oh, that's nice. But then at the end of it, they'll realize, man, dude, they ain't cussed not once. And it throws them off. It really does throw them off, because, in a situation like this, it's not a lot of rappers that could be on a Disney Channel with their song full out without an edit, and then also be on MTV. So it's just a whole different
I ain't heard no rappers on the Disney Channel at all like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I haven't heard, you know what I'm saying?
And when it comes down to it, it's also another thing that can be able to set us apart, because we don't necessarily have to really always go over everything when it comes down to, okay, these guys are clean cut. Do they curse in their music? No, they don't curse in their music. Are they, all these different things that are added on to it. But this is one of the main things that's really a big difference, is that, look, we are MCs. It's a big difference in the game right now, where it's a different era of music, and it's not necessarily putting any disrespect out to a lot of the artists that are out here right now, but the first three people that you would think when it comes down to the real pure hip-hop music that's bringing a good vibe and essence to the music is a Kendrick Lamar, a J. Cole, or a Drake as the top three, and then you have everyone else like a Jay Electronica, B.O.B., and other people like that are really putting in work. But one thing that can be able to set us apart is that we're actually MCs, and the MCs are going to stand out, because an MC is not only a person that does pure hip-hop. An MC is somebody who knows how to control the crowd and control a demographic and be able to make their presence known when it comes down to what it is they're trying to put out. Every message that needs to be put out, people like a J. Cole or a Drake, they know how to be able to put that message out in whatever way they need to. Drake, for example, he has a very, very prestigious fan base that goes along with the female fan base demographic. But he knows how to put out certain messages and be able to switch it up. And when it comes down to where he really has to spit, he really has to put down bars, and that's when he's really going to go in and put down bars. J. Cole puts out a lot of very deep stories and a lot of big messages in a lot of his music, and people go so crazy for his album. How did his album do those numbers without any promotion? It didn't have any single. As everyone saw, it was only that intro where he was riding his bike down the street of Forest Hills Drive. The reason why is because he's real music, and when it's a Bentley, it doesn't need any rims. It doesn't need any extra plasma screen TVs in the Bentley. It's a Bentley. So when it's a Bentley, it sells itself. Real music sells itself. So then the main thing that we're pretty much, we know that we're set aside from everyone else when we can out-rap a whole group of 20 other rappers that are supposedly signed and supposed to be the next coming. We know that we can be able to...
Stop right there, because you just said something that kind of leads into what I wanted to bring up. While you're saying this, and you're mentioning J. Cole, you're mentioning Drake, and that's cool. You know, they pretty much... You know, they're doing their thing. I'm not gonna hate on their talent. I'm not gonna, say that they're doing a disservice to the culture. But my thing is this: when you mention them, and there's some people on the block like y'all, like you said, y'all the baddest dudes right now going that should be able to get some shine. But there's a lot of people, not just mainstream-ish, the fan base, and I kind of consider some of the fan base lazy because that's all they want to buy. They want to buy J. Cole and they want to buy Drake, but some of them might be turned off. Or not turned off by the music, but just loyalty, or they just feel like, okay, well, let me just go check it out, but not support it. So my thing is, what defines y'all's success? Is it being on a level like Drake, or you have your own definition of success?
Well, that is a very good question altogether. The difference between us and them is that we're going to be still doing our thing independent. At this point right now, we're actually signed to ourselves. So then we're not necessarily looking for radio to be behind us, or we're not looking for any labels to find us because we know where both of those routes go. And we know that the situation can be a lot better if we're in control of it all. So then the main thing that we want to be able to do is be in a position where we can be able to feed our families and be able to live a lifestyle where we can be able to do the music for a living. And that is pretty much, at this point right now, our definition of the success altogether that what we can be able to see. The main thing is every single time that we come out with a project, we want to be able to take hip-hop to another level and be able to pay the homage to it. Because you did bring up a point, is that J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and the people that I named, they're not the only ones who do hip-hop. They're not the only ones that are really good. It's a lot of guys that are a lot better than them. So they're just the face of what people think hip-hop is and what have you, because they're the best that's out there when you talk about mainstream. But we're just going to try to change the game altogether. I think that having a fresh type of change-up, like how Nas did with Illmatic or like Tribe Called Quest did with their first album, things like that, I think that that's something that we're very much capable of doing. It's just all about doing it.
Okay. I like that. That's a good answer. If I had a clap button, I'll clap, but I'll do that with my hands right now. So that's solid. That's good. Now, I mean, I appreciate realism, but at the same time, like I'm hearing y'all talking. Like I said earlier, it's a log jam, and I'm pretty sure y'all keep tabs on how people's records are moving throughout the culture right now when it comes to. Just in general, because last year Katy Perry was the only platinum artist. There was no hip hop in that category that reached that plateau when it was so easy a couple of decades ago. And you know what I'm saying, Danaya, you could run some music, but I wanna come back and ask y'all just about the culture and the fact that people didn't tend to get a little lazy when it comes to support, and I just want y'all's opinion on it and what we could be able to do to kind of right that ship. You know what I'm saying? So, Danaya, run the music, do your thing. It's your show. I just wanted to say hello and ask a couple of questions. So yeah, just go ahead and do your thing. I ain't gonna, y'all, you got get me started with talking about hip hop and the culture, man. I'm from the old school, damn it. I love the essence of it. I love my female MCs, and we can talk about that too. I'm just, I'm missing all this, man. Don't get me fired up tonight.
I
will
heartbeat. Don't get him fired up right now. I swear, he don't take up the whole time.
I'm just saying. Don't get me fired up. But yeah, y'all do your thing. I want to hear some of this music, and you know what I'm saying. We can come back. We can mix it in.
Yes.
Right.
So, since he actually really introduced it, why don't y'all talk about "Clap for Me" real quick before we play that?
See, and that was a nice segue, by the way. So
it
was.
Thank you.
This song right here. This is actually. The track was actually produced by SF Vibe Beats. This guy, he's actually on YouTube, and he's also on SoundClick. He does his thing all around the country. And this track, it really spoke to me to a point of which where we're starting to think, when it comes down to 20 years from now, You have artists that do not have the longevity bug. You have artists that just pretty much have that one hit record and then they're done. But we're thinking when it comes down to this song, I want to be able to perform this 20 years from now. And I want it to be where this is where, for us, this song is a song between us and the fans. This is something that is our own intimate conversation between the two of us. It's where it's saying, if you all love me so much, and y'all love everything that I've done for y'all, and y'all love me as much as I love you or even more, and I can guarantee that if you don't love me more than I love you, and all I ask for you to do is just follow the orders that I'm giving you while I'm here up on this stage.
Next Legacy.